Little bit different setup here. This is my living room, and it's funny because when I looked at some of the camera angles, this is the most boring part of my living room, which is hilarious. I'll show you guys the full tiny living room in just a minute. That being said, this is completely outside of the YouTube studio. It's being recarpeted right now. So the next few videos are gonna be right here. So maybe this personal touch will kind of bring us a little closer. So what I'm talking about today is the Ball Engineer 3 Marvelite with the burgundy dial. Now, it's not the in-depth review that I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna do an unboxing, but really what I wanna bring to you guys is the experience I had with the company I purchased this from, Exquisite Timepieces in Florida. Now, I had a great experience with Fed over at Delray Watch, Federico Talks Watches, except that Exquisite Timepieces was 10 times better than that. And I know that people are always hesitant to purchase, especially large purchases online. Exquisite Timepieces do have a brick and mortar store as well, but the experience I had from them makes me want to go back 1,000 times over. So let's talk about it. So while we're getting into this first, let's talk about why I wanted a Ball Engineer 3. Well, people say that, you know, if you can't afford a Rolex, you should buy something that is a better alternative. And it's not just that the Engineer 3 is a better alternative to something like the Rolex Oyster Perpetual, which it is, but Ball has such a massive history behind them that it's hard to not recognize the history behind Ball. I mean, after a massive train crash, Ball stepped up and they created the standard for timekeeping when it came to railways back in the 1800s, late 1800s. And we'll get into more of the history in the full in-depth review. But that being said, there's massive history behind the Ball watch company. And this is a cost certified watch. And it is just a beautiful, beautiful timepiece. Everything here is well done. They even added an exquisite timepiece cloth to clean your watch. So let's get all this aside and let's talk about why I purchased this watch. Now, like I said, you know, I was looking at the best alternative watches for something like a Datejust or a Day-Date or a Oyster Perpetual from Rolex. And then I started doing my research and Ball popped up. And I've known Ball from a lot of different things. One of the things I love about Ball is the fact that they use tritium gas tubes for their illumination as opposed to lume, which means it's gonna last not forever, right? It's not gonna last forever, but it's gonna last for 10, 20, 30 years. And it's always gonna have a dull glow in the darkest of nights. And not just that, but the one that I have here is the Marvelite Rainbow. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of rainbow dials. I'm not the biggest fan of the Rainbow Daytona. It's just way too flamboyant for me. However, the way they did this one is you don't even notice it until you shine a UV light on it or until you're in the darkest of dark, and then you realize the indices are all different colors. Now, this is what happened. I didn't want the burgundy dial and I didn't want the rainbow burgundy. In fact, what I wanted was the Ball Engineer 3 in the blue dial with the classic tritium gas tubes, right? The green gas tubes. That's what I wanted. That's what I ordered on the website. Now, within 12 hours, I get an email from Mauricio there at Exquisite Timepieces saying, can you please text me at this number or call me at your earliest convenience? So I shot him a text, made a phone call, and I had him on the phone, and he said, okay, I know you wanted the blue dial. We don't have that blue dial, but we can order it. It'll take, you know, 1 to 2 weeks to get it in, and then we'll 2-day ship it to you. And I said, okay. He said, but we have other Engineer 3s that you can choose from with no additional cost. We will keep and honor the original price of the blue dial, but you can choose from almost any other Engineer 3 that they had. They even had the special edition yellow dial for $500 more that they were willing to send me if I wanted it at no additional cost. Now, this is just customer service far above and beyond what you'd expect, because they're not making any extra money by giving me a watch that's $500 more and still honoring that price. To me, there's just something about customer service that makes me want to go back. I will spend the extra money just to get better customer service. This is one of the reasons why people like Breitling. Breitling's not the best watch in the world, right? But when you walk into a Breitling boutique, they make you feel special. They make you feel a certain way. Whereas if you walk into a Rolex boutique, they kind of snub their nose at you and they don't even want to deal with you because you're not one of their preferred clients. So that being said, Exquisite Timepieces made me feel like I was valued to them, and because of that, I will go back time and time and time again. Now, the burgundy was not my first choice. Now, we went over everything that they had. They had the blue, but they had the day and the date, and I didn't want that. I just wanted the date with that Cyclops eye. And then they had the yellow dial special edition. They had the burgundy, they had the green. And I chose the burgundy just because it was something different. Now I look back and maybe I should have chosen the special edition yellow just because it gives that pop to the eye. But I look at the burgundy and it is the classic dress watch that I want. And you can't beat the dimensions. It's a 40mm watch, right? The footprint of it, the lug to lug is 46.5, so it's gonna fit perfectly on almost every wrist. The bracelet is a little heavier than I expected. It is a little slightly more bulkier than I expected. But other than that, the thing is amazing, and it's cost certified, so it's plus or minus, 4 to 6 seconds a day. Comes with all the papers, everything that I need, and I think it's just a wonderful looking watch. I haven't worn it too much because I want to get some good macro photography on the in-depth review before I start scratching it up. But I think that this is almost the perfect dress watch in the affordable end. Now, the Ball Engineer 3 comes in anywhere from $1,800 to $2,500. So if you want to spend a couple $1,000s, you want something with a great history and something that looks wonderful. If you want a Rolex, go buy a Rolex, right? But if you want something that's similar but has better history behind it, because I don't care what anybody says about Rolex, Ball has a deeper horological history to it, especially behind the company. So if you want something with value, with the horological history, cost certified, wonderful, wonderful finishing on the watch. I just love this watch. And then you have things like the tritium gas tubes that nobody uses except Ball. That's like their thing, is the tritium gas tubes. And I prefer that over lume because, yes, a great Swiss Luminova watch. I walk in the dark and I look at my wrist and it's bright and brilliant, and within 15 minutes it's dim. And the Ball with the tritium tubes, it's the same lume no matter whether I walk in from the sun or whether I'm in a pitch black room. It never changes, and I like that about the Ball. So just to wrap up this video, extremely happy with Exquisite Timepieces. I look forward to buying more watches from them in the future. I love the fact that they are customer service first. At least that's how they made me feel. They made me feel like I was important enough that they would lose some money in a watch because they didn't have something that they said they did. And I could have waited for the blue dial. I'm happy I have the burgundy over the blue. And I'm happy that they offered me even the special edition yellow that was $500 more than what I paid for the blue. They didn't have to do that, but they did it because they're great at their customer service. Open communication throughout, had no problem. I'll leave you guys with a link down below. They have no idea I'm doing this video. I'm just super happy that I had such a good experience, and I know a lot of people are hesitant to purchase watches online. You guys are gonna be happy to purchase from Delray Watch and Exquisite Timepieces. Those are the only two outside of eBay or Amazon or Jomashop that I've purchased from, but Exquisite Timepieces, they are absolutely top notch. Now, if you like videos like this, remember this is not my normal setup. Leave a comment down below of the videos you'd like to see. This is all things random, mostly watch reviews with some random stuff sprinkled in between. The full review is going to be up in just a couple weeks. I got a couple other things to drop before then. Hopefully the YouTube studio will be done in just a few weeks, and we'll get back in there. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one.